3, 2, 1. Ah, shit.
Yeah, I just got the restream prompt.
Yeah, it was probably me.
Am I okay for audio?
You're fantastic for audio.
I just don't feel like wearing my headset.
That's
I
fine.
don't have a webcam.
Just want to make sure the extension's set to the fuck is it called here? The correct campaign. Okay, well that loads anyway. Jump over to that right there. Perfect. Alright. We are rocking and rolling once again. Right on. We're online. So as I was saying, last we left our heroes, you adventured into the ancient Belladorn library, retrieved the last 3 volumes, another 3 volumes of a series known as the Firelight, each an individually designed and built book representing one of the gods and their wisdom from the Morden Salmon Pantheon, the Pantheon of the Dwarves, the Pantheon of Moradin. Here in the deep dark of this ancient place, surrounded by bookshelves that you can barely make the outlines of, very short bookshelves, you sight down the halls past Jarek to see the many corpses that you have re-deadened in your efforts to reach this place. As you look upon their molting bodies as they slowly, as time begins to take its toll upon them, as time continues to take their toll upon them, I guess. The smell in here being as amazing as it is, you wrinkle your nose, knowing that it's only going to get worse as time goes. Jarek looks over towards you all and says, I suppose we should be going then.
That's a good idea. That.
With that said, he begins down the hall. I'm gonna do this.
All the places flooding.
I'm gonna make you guys a little bigger on there. I don't know what I'm doing. He says, yes, more than likely there is still some flooding, but you're not made of sugar, I should think. A quick swim in the depths, whatever depths that there may be, a few feet, won't hurt you. Or it shouldn't. His boots clatter against the stone as yours do behind him. Your weapons and armor flash against the little bit of light that came off the crystals behind you as the camera pans backwards, showing you guys disappearing into the darkness of the place. As you make your way down the hall, heading towards the room, if you recall, at the back of the place, you had a scant memory of a compatriot who was picking the lock on it, but for some reason you don't seem to have that compatriot here. Maybe you imagined the whole thing. We're gonna use the walls there. Let's see. Right there, perfect. Camera pans over to the one side, showing you best you can in the darkness.
Oh yes, that fuck.
Showing you from the far end of the library as you slowly make your way amongst the bookshelves, the ancient tomes nestled against the rotting wood. Jarek looking this way and that as he makes his way around the table. And in the foreground, I don't know where you're all positioned. I don't really care personally. You're not here to move your pieces, so you're you're in under my mercy.
Oh, mercy.
But here in the darkness, here in the darkness, I'm getting there. Any minute now, that darkness, boy, oh boy. Hey, that darkness! Look at that, fucking hey, that darkness, eh? All right. So as I was saying, here in this darkness, surrounded by these tomes, you stare ahead to see something strange occur. A little bit of a light emanates, a strange green glow that you can see flickering in the darkness ahead. As the spirit that you saw earlier steps out into view in front of the... Actually, I'm going to do something extra special here. We're back. Oh, shit.
What's up?
Alright, there's that. Just may fuck it up, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for the craft. As this thing steps out and starts making its way down the hall towards you, camera pans up and over. So we'll do it from over here. Camera pans up and over, showing a lot of you in the library as it makes its way along. Okay?
It's like glowing nuclear.
It is. It looks amazing here. Gosh, if you could only see it in person. As the camera pans up overhead, showing a lot of you down the hall, Jarek steps forward and stops and looks over towards you each. What do y'all do?
This is kind of like a similar spirit to that other room.
It is exactly that spirit.
Oh, okay. Same spirit.
That's the best angle I got.
Not a bad angle. We're good.
It's coming towards you. You don't have long. The ghostly apparition steps closer and closer.
I'll move up and just kind of take cover behind one of the bookshelves.
Okay. Hey, Kusao positions himself like here or here?
Yeah, like up, or
Okay.
yeah, there.
I'll duck into his left.
Okay. You like here?
Yes.
Okay. You haven't turned yourself up, brother. I can barely hear you, Judah. Your mic, maybe, brother? Are you muted?
He ain't muted, he's just quiet. Using my backup dice because my good ones are in my car.
They sound different closer.
Like you're distant, really distant.
Just break the volume, the transmit volume in Skype.
Just yell.
No doubt, eh? End up sounding like me by the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay, while you figure that out, I'm gonna go fresh up a drink.
Just gonna go super slow.
Okay. You can hear me a little bit with this.
A little bit, still a bit quiet though.
Yeah.
Why do I have a dot in the middle of my head? Well, that's a mouse cursor. Apparently, Dooley's mouse is on my eye. He keeps poking me in the eye. Damn it, Dooley. That's my freaking eye.
What happened?
Dooley's mouse cursor is on my eye. Go away. Man,
What is?
man. Man. One of the advantages of wine no mixing.
Mm-hmm. Well, this will be if we continue having isolate, I'll still be able to play D&D. 'Cause I move home Friday. So
Oh, what are you going? Oh, are you going to school right now and you're heading back?
no, I graduated university last year. So
Did you
I
figure out
just-
your audio? Did he get his volume figured?
Okay. Though, Dooley, I would very much appreciate if you could move your mouse cursor.
Is it capturing my mouse cursor?
Yes, it's on my freaking eye.
Is it mine?
Stop touching my eye.
Yeah, with your screen sharing, it captures everything.
Thank you.
There it is. That's weird. It shouldn't. Oh,
There.
okay. That's weird.
It's not a problem. It was just right on my bloody eye.
My cursor isn't on that. Oh, no, never mind. It would be. Unga bunga. Actually, I can fix that by doing that. There we go. No, it'll never happen. Cool. This is no longer on the screen. And that stupid picture-in-picture is over there too now, so I don't even have to worry about that. Man, this just gets better by the second. Alright. That's really not the right music. Jesus Christ.
Alright. Crazy Spirit.
Yeah, he's still mucking about with his audio.
Talk about this guy so you guys react.
Judah, you figure it out, bud?
No, I don't know how I would raise the sound. Raise when it comes through.
So if you go into your Windows settings, if you go, sorry, not your Windows settings, if you go to the bottom right, now your speaker icon, if you right click that and go open volume mixer,
Oh, just the mixer, okay.
I don't want to say there's a way to switch this to input, but I may be full of shit. Are you on Windows 10?
Yeah.
Okay, so in that case, I think it is sound settings.
What one do we just start playing Windows?
So are you in sound settings now? Judah?
Yeah, there we go. Now I am.
Okay, so once you're in sound settings, go to manage sound devices. Am I full of shit? Is this wrong? Hang on a sec. Back up. Maybe I'm wrong. Advanced.
Input.
No. Where's shit? Where did it go? Damn. No, I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. It's wedged between them, for Christ's sakes. There's sorry, not manage sound devices, but device properties. So under input, you'll have device properties. It says the choose input device, certain apps may be set up, blah blah blah, and then device properties, and then you can affect the volume for the microphone there.
Hey, don't hide.
Now, there's also advanced device properties, which will actually take you to the Windows 7 settings for the mic, which is what I was looking for. And you may have something like, boost or something like that in there. Alright, welcome back to another episode of Figuring Streams with your host, Dooley and company. Also, I'm not getting any video from you, Judah. Oh, disconnected. And coming back. There he is. Back online.
The video keeps freezing every time I go to another window.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So Sam, are you working through the web or the desktop client?
Desktop client.
Okay. And then, so if you go into that audio settings that we were talking about, so from right clicking into open sound settings, and then you go device properties under input.
Yeah.
Okay, once you're in there, then you have your volume for that microphone right there in front of you.
Set to 100 already.
Okay, so I want you to go to additional device properties on the far right.
Okay.
Do you see that option?
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings you up a little white dialog box, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, terrific. Now you got that levels tab. I want you to go ahead and click that. And now, is that's set to 100 as well, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, do you have a boost plus 20 decibels checkbox there?
No.
No.
Oh boy.
Shit. Okay, if you want to jump over to advanced real quick,
Okay.
what format is it showing there for you? Just purely for my curiosity.
One channel 16.
How is my freaking tablet
Alright.
working out of the box with nothing adjusted perfectly? But your actual sound setup needs work. This is fun.
This is bizarre, yeah. There's no manual volume control on your wire for your headset. Is there a
I
manual
usually
volume?
duck them to Mac.
Sorry,
How do I sound?
I want to say you're getting quieter. You're making yourself quieter. Go the other way.
That better? That better?
I mean, I can hear you sort of.
Okay.
Can you crank it higher?
That's the highest it can go, but I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
What the fuck?
What is that setting?
I'll just change this knob. Things are loud. Oh,
It's not affecting his mic transmit, it's affecting his receive volume, Dooley.
yeah.
The adjuster on the cord is usually your headset, not your mic pickup.
That's true. Okay, you're just really quiet now.
Now I'm just really quiet.
I wish there was a way to make you louder on my end.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you were nice and loud there.
Oh, okay.
I guess
So
just
we're
speak
gonna
clearly into the mic.
just speak up solution.
I guess just speak loudly and clearly into the mic.
Yeah, definitely.
Like really loudly and really clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
not
real
usually
good
my
at that.
problem. Alright, so, my man, what would you like to do? In this super
I'm
dramatic.
gonna say.
I'm just on it.
Technical difficulties dealt with, yeah.
Move to the other side, the other bookshelves. Can you hear me?
Back to the board view.
Oh yeah, we don't have the map up.
Alright. So, you would like to go where now? Oh, do you not have the map up?
No.
Oh, I gotta share it again or something? I'm just gonna. Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting nothing in return from you.
Still.
Got the audio, lost the video.
Alright, no worries. Hopefully.
There, I think it's switching over.
Alright, there we go. How now?
I can't see it. Oh, you click on his name, yeah. I didn't see your video. I'm good.
Yeah, it's up now.
So I want to move to the other bookshelves across.
I want to say like I want it to be stealthing there. So like, has he seen us yet? Probably.
You're pretty sure he sees you as you're running towards. You can clearly see his glowing visage look towards you, watching you. His head turns as you rush in.
Can I use minor illusion to create like a smoke bomb effect when we disperse?
You want to throw a smoke bomb?
Well, I don't have a smoke bomb per se. I want to minor illusion it. Is that a thing I can do with my minor illusion?
I mean, how big's a minor illusion? Minor illusion has no sound, and it's. I want to say it's got a size constraint.
5 foot cube.
Yeah, there you go. So it's a very small smoke bomb.
Nepal could help me do it. Could both minor illusion.
I do not.
Oh, you don't have minor illusion?
I don't believe so.
Oh, you have
A lot of spells, I think that's one of them.
I have to like learn all this stuff again. Okay, I don't do that, and he sees me.
Yeah, no, got nothing.
Okay. Never mind then.
Okay.
Then I want to just like start attacking this guy like outright?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think that's the best way to go.
That's
Alright.
what you're feeling. Roll for initiative.
I'm feeling that. I'm now wielding 2 short swords. I'm dual wielding, so instead of my unarmed strike, I would just take an offhand attack.
That's fine.
I'm just like asking if that's how it works.
Bonus action for an offhand strike. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to run up and I'll just use a dash action to maybe try to get behind him.
Okay.
And then I'll attack with my short sword.
You might need to set the camera a little higher.
So you're gonna rush in behind him. Is what your goal is?
Yeah.
Okay. There is this table in the way. You know what? Actually, it was over a little further. It's not in the right. You're totally fine.
Okay.
So as we were saying though, you come rushing around the corner and you want to get in behind him like so.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I'll attack with my short sword. Do we have to roll initiative for this fight?
As you rush in upon him,
If you're interested.
sorry, as you're rushing in upon him, he watches you as your blades come out with a snick and a snack. Yeah, this is not the right fucking music for it.
So peaceful.
Right?
Don't make me pull on my soundboard.
We'll just record clips of me talking and use your sound.
Okay. How do I get viewing the board again with Dooley?
Yeah, I don't have the map either. I think maybe if he's using his soundboard, he's not stopped screen sharing, maybe?
Or if he stops talking.
Oh, I know what it is. You see it now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I know what that was. Alright. Yeah, alright. I'll refrain from doing that then. Cool. Yeah, I got, well, something like that. I'm capturing the screen, and if you guys are the view, it will bug it out. Oh my god, this thing. Alright, there we are. So getting back to it, you rush in behind him, pulling your blades out, one after the next. They flash against the distant crystal light and the green glow that comes off the apparition. His head slowly turns. You feel a coldness wafting off him as you make your way around his ethereal stature. The camera pans over towards the others as you make your attack rolls. Jarek steps into view, moving up towards. I think that's a little shy. Moving up a little further, coming to within 5 feet of. He unfurls his axe and then holds it down by his side, getting ready to use it if necessary. Want to make your attack rolls, or should I?
Wait, I want to hold off on any attack and ask him if he means peace or violence.
As we've said.
Did you, like, was he summoned from the book at all?
As you said,
I'm gonna hold my attack, yeah, I'm just gonna ask, is this beautiful?
his head turns as he looks at you sidelong from the one eye. You stand behind him with your blades in hand. You whisper the words to him, and he doesn't really respond at first, but he looks out ahead towards as Jarek stands there. The camera slowly panning against the scene, showing the lot of you all standing still in the darkness. Ooh. There's a little bit of a tremor apparently all around. from a dramatic low Dutch angle that looks awesome. His apparition's form stands wafting in the lack of breeze as your compatriots. What do you guys do there? Holy shit. Neffel and Vince, what do you guys do?
I'll wait to see if there's a response.
Okay. He turns towards you for a moment and looks you up and down sidelong, just staring you up and down, and then looks over towards Jarek and taking a brief step forward, he asks, "Are you a champion of Tor?"
Say yes.
Cord, sorry, why did I say Tor? I'm sorry, Cord.
Oh, word. Yeah, sure.
Say yes.
You hold his teachings. Jarek looks towards each of you and then looks back towards the spirit and gives like a brief nod, unsure of what else to say, but he follows your lead.
We're all just kind of like nodding in the back, trying to get his attention.
The apparition says, "Then you will return, then you shall travel to the tomb and prove your strength, and take that which is rightfully yours once again." As the camera pans against your faces, Jarek looks to you all to see if there's any recognition. Did you capture your shot?
For us or the spirit?
The spirit, well, he's looking for recognition from you guys.
Okay.
Would any of us know anything about this tomb?
Jarek looks at you and says, "The tomb. Of course. The tomb that we were at before we came here."
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, the first game we went to.
You know, that tomb.
Like where that's at. Okay,
That
yeah.
place.
That tomb, right. Yeah, I agree with him.
How does that sound coming out of Ikusao, who isn't a dwarf either?
Pardon?
How does that sound coming out of Ikusao? Like, what does Ikusao say? It's just like, sure, yeah, it's give us the finger guns or what?
Yeah, he agrees to be the champion to go back to the tomb.
He says, "It is a shame what happened to your people." He looks you up and down, and then looks over towards Vince, and starts walking towards Jarek as he looks at Vince. Moves in close towards Jarek, and Jarek instinctually takes a step back and looks over towards Vince in the background.
What does it want with me?
You're like one of the only two doors we got.
Yes.
Anyway.
As the camera pans against the scene showing the apparition moving in towards Jarek looking over towards Vince. Does anybody else do anything? The fellow says, "Take the key from the storage room," and he gestures towards the door beside where Ikusao stands. The camera panning to show it. Just yonder. The camera panning to show it just yonder. There it is. How about that? Shazam.
Wonder.
As it continues to pan around to where, whoa, that's not going to happen at all, is it? No, you can't do that. I had a dream. But That's okay. Bring it around the other side. Oh, goddamn. Going down.
Oh wow.
Alright, as we were. It's all good. We're good. Emergency averted. Everyone's safe. Everyone survived. Yeah, we're getting along. Going up. And from yonder, he gestures over towards the storage room and says, "Take the key and prove your strength, prove your worth as champions of your kingdom, of your race." Jarek looks towards Vince one more time, looking for some sort of reassurance. You can barely see it outlined on his face.
Yeah, I walk forward and ask, is there any more information we should know? Security.
Getting closer to my companions between the two.
The apparition takes a step back and turns around, looking at you. It walks past you, Ekusao, walking in towards the door. And looking towards it, standing in front of it, he looks towards you one more time before he disappears altogether, leaving behind a little bit of a green pitch of glowing ooze on the ground.
Ew, pea green.
He is green.
With a little bit of ectoplasm at your feet, and a doorway situated behind you. The spirit gone, but the tension remains. Jared walks forward, stepping into the ooze, and wetly slapping with his boots out in front of the door. He stares at it before reaching up and grabbing a hold of the handle to find it jiggle locked.
A locked door.
He looks around for a moment and says, "If only we had a rogue capable of unlocking this."
Didn't we already unlock it?
No, the Pissant never made the roll. I mean, Jared doesn't say that. That would be way too meta.
Why not just break it down? It's an old library anyway. Taking over.
So you're gonna what now?
Break it down.
Okay. So you want to make me a roll?
Yeah. Strength check, right?
User. Actually, it's just straight up attack roll. He's got an AC of, it's a heavy, I want to say it's a heavy banded door. It's got a robust locking mechanism and a steel plated section where the latch, there's a steel plated latch. So we'll give it a 13 AC.
Okay.
Can I give him the help action?
I'm sorry?
That's
Eight.
enough.
I'll swim break the door down.
You're not going to get any health out of it because it's supposed to be when you hit a creature, right?
Oh, okay.
As opposed to an object. Otherwise, you can just sit there and punch chairs.
Yeah.
Kicking the shit out of furniture and healing up for it. Go to a hospital, they bring you a sofa. Go
But I
Street
think
Fighter
you
on
get
this thing.
I think you get 8 and give him a +2. Isn't that the thing?
What, in
Oh, it's
battering down the door?
So help is only like a combat thing then.
It's against creatures.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm using the +6 to hit with my weapon as well, right?
You are.
Okay, so that's 20 on that.
Yeah, terrific. You take a wild swing into it, give me some damage. I think he's got 5 damage absorption.
10 damage.
Is that after subtracting 5?
Oh, 5 damage.
Okay. So let me see if that all shows up. It kind of does, eh? Kind of, sort of, not really. I had high hopes. I had a dream. Alright, well, I'm gonna write something down that I'm gonna be able to see and I will remember. So That's a 5 right there, and you're gonna have to take my word on it. Because it's very, very, very small for you. That's okay, because the table is very, very large. That said, you take a wild swing into the door, smashing against it. The wood cracks as you strike upon it. As this occurs, a large wedge snaps open, and you can see into the storage room. But as you pull your axe out, the whole thing still holds fast. You can feel that it's a little loose now against its hinges, and the planks that you split are loose against the metal trim, but the hole's not big enough to crawl through.
Yeah.
Can you take another swing if you like?
Yeah. Oh, that's a 20 natural to hit.
Very nice. The camera pans in from the other side of the room. I guess you're in front of the door here. As Jarek steps to the side and shows you bash in the door as it blows down.
Alright. I'll step in and look for the key.
Camera pans back. Whoa, hello. Camera pans back. Now he's drunk for a moment. Alright. Where are we then? Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so follow into the room.
Looking for
Yeah.
the key.
About. Alright.
Jarek pushes past Neffel to step inside the chamber. The first thing that strikes you is you see an open satchel on a set of bench tables. At the far end, along the left wall, you see large ale tankards. The tables are mostly empty, save for dust and old stuff. That is to say, tools, bits of blades that have been repaired, and a lot of quills that have been clearly failed or overused and tossed aside in here. Otherwise, the tables have upon them a shield, an open sack that looks like it was meant to hold magical regents, and a glass jar within which you see fluid and a gray, spongy substance, a spheroid that you recognize as a brain. On the left side, the large ale barrels seem old and dust-covered, but at least the folks here had their priorities straight. Barrels at the back of the chamber, oh, actually, there should be two types of barrels. Barrels at the back of the chamber hold armament, as well as seem to... Actually, you'll have to use boxes for that. You can see crates stacked and lining the back of the chamber, next to which sits an old weapon rack. And and a steel box sits across from a wooden chest. The bench tables don't have any drawers or anything like that. They're just literally like a slab of wood attached to the stone wall with supports underneath it. You see a couple cobwebs in the corners, darkness all around, and ectoplasmic drippings around the chamber. Oh, hey, that didn't work. Just farted out a giant piece of glass. That's cool.
Glass. Ah, that would hurt.
That said,
I really don't want to fart out a piece of glass. Really. That's a lot of time.
so as we were saying,
You do not want to hit that.
So as we were, with ectoplasm spilled around the floor here, staring around the chamber, you don't see anything leap out right away. You see the steel box, the chest across from it, the stacks of boxes, and the smell of you detect this a sort of fungal sweet smell that that each of you can roll a I want to say an intelligence check or a wisdom check, DC 10 to recognize the smell.
Just flat wisdom or intelligence?
Yep.
Alright, I got a 5.
18.
You recognize it as rations, military rations. You can sense that they're coming from the box at the back of the chamber. Boxes at the back of the chamber.
I'd like to walk ahead and check out the satchel, the open satchel.
Alright.
More concerned with that brain in the jar.
Gamma pans against the scene as each of you takes interest in something. Jarek pushes past to where the chests sit. Neville makes his way over to the satchel. Tinkersell makes his way to the satchel as Neville makes his way to the brain in the jar. Does Tinkersell just take you can see all sorts of different herbs spilled out of it. You can see inside there's still several little pouches packaged together. The whole of the bag is just a grand orchestra of potpourri style smells.
Is it kind of like alchemy herbs? Can I maybe add that to my herbalism kit and make kind of some medicines from that?
You can throw me an intelligence check. An advantage for herbalism, as it were. Do you have medicine?
I do, yeah.
You're proficient?
It's going to be 23.
Alright. You're proficient, is it?
Yeah, I'm proficient in medicine.
Terrific. You see several of the there's a mix mash in the herbalism kit. It seems to be like a catch-all medical kit that some of the herbs you recognize as those that would go into drafts that accelerate healing, and some of them are bits that you would find in a proper medical bag, and still some of them serve other purposes. You actually recognize some of them meant to put people to sleep, that sort of thing. And finally, a couple that have mixed properly could possibly clear the body of toxins. So there's 4 different types that you find situated in here as you're looking through the little leather pouches that I was describing. If you imagine, it's like a little brick, about yay by yay. There's tiny things, and the bag is littered with them, but they're all nicely labeled in Dwarven script.
Okay, sweet. Sorry, I just had to grab a notepad. We got
herbs for a mild health potion.
Yeah.
Herbs for a cure toxins or cure poisons.
Okay.
Herbs for a medical bag, medical kit, and herbs for putting someone to sleep.
Awesome. Thank you. Sorry about that.
And with that in mind, as you come towards the brain in the jar, it shows your reflection oblong reflected back at you. And inside you see the old, withered gray matter floating away. It's not moving by any stretch. If you tap on the glass, you're sure you can make it do so. It's got a nice layer of dust all over it. There's an etching at the bottom in Dwarven script.
Okay, I mage hand into the cerebellum and grab the cerebellum and I pull it down slightly to see if there's any reaction from it.
Other than the gray matter bobbing a little bit inside, there's no reaction.
Well, just to make throw a nice shocking grasp on that.
You know what? Fuck it. Odds or evens?
Evens.
Oh, today is my lucky day. No odds. So, you do so. Throw me a dex save if you could.
Okay, well, the shocking grasp hits for 8, by the way.
That's fine. The whole of the brain actually lights up as you see streaks of electrical energy fire through the fluid. Kind of like the reverse of one of those static balls that you can buy at novelty stores. It streaks off from your fingertips where you touch the glass, lighting up the fluid and the brain inside. As this occurs, should be a dex save? No, I gotta look up what it is. I can't remember.
What would you like?
I'm just double checking what.
What's the next thing? That thing I go.
No, hold on. I'll tell you what to say. It is a wisdom save. I'd like a 14 or better if you could. 14 even?
Yeah.
Okay, you actually. A strong wave of magic blasts against you as you see the whole of the jar kind of shiver where it sits. The water inside emanates brightly, and the magic wafts across you as you feel something sprout against your head and then not. A little bit of fur grows out of the sides of your ears and the back of your neck before falling off harmlessly, your body rejecting the magical influence as quickly as it washes across you.
Might want to smash this thing.
You guys watch as the brain does this. The whole of the place becomes brightly illuminated for a brief second.
To smash it with a big fucking axe.
Is the brain expanding or is it sprouting from Nephile's head?
It's actually the fur was sprouting from Nephile's head for a moment, but nobody would really notice that. He would notice that and probably brush himself a little bit. But the bright flash, everybody notices that. The whole of the room illuminates real quick, blasting light in all directions, causing contrast shadows that dance up the walls. The whole of the area grows white.
I step back 5 feet and I motion to the dwarf to smash this damn thing.
Jarek looks to you and then looks at the jar and says, "I'll not smash anything in this place. It's a holy space."
It's a brain in a fucking jar.
He gives a shake of his head. I'll not be the one to raise an axe on Bellamdorn treasures. He looks over towards the boxes and says, "I wonder which of these holds our key."
I'll check one of the boxes.
Okay. Wooden one or metal one?
Pardon?
Wooden one or metal one?
Wooden.
Wooden? Okay.
3 feet. 3 feet.
Camera pans against Vince as he makes his way in behind where Jarek stands in the metal one. Jarek looks to you and...
Salute my back, by the way.
What's that?
5 feet away from the freaking brain. Thank you.
So you've collected the satchel, so I'll take that off the table.
I want to walk closer up to the brain and read the dwarvish inscription.
Okay. Shit, what was the name there?
So that?
Yeah. Can you see me okay?
Yeah, it just you didn't say anything for a while, so I thought.
No, I died. Alright. Looking upon, you can see the brain says, the inscription says Lazaf Bellendorn, Royal House Arcanist. As you're staring down upon it, the green glow begins to emanate from the jar and around the jar. The ectoplasm seems to react behind you, and the whole of the room seems to illuminate a bit green. Jared looks around as Vince looks at the wooden chest in front of him.
Is it just like kind of in water, or is it in ectoplasm too?
How do you mean? Oh, it looks like normal water fluid, embalming fluid, I should say. Not water, but embalming fluid.
Alright, then I go and grab some ectoplasm and I scoop it up. Put it in the brain case.
So the brain case is pretty sealed up. You're gonna have to figure out how to open the top.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Do you want to get gooey with the ectoplasm?
I'd like to think there's like a bottle or vial in my herbalism kit, or I'm holding.
Okay, if you want to do that, for sure.
Yeah, I want to put some in a bottle.
Okay, you scoop some ectoplasm.
Cool.
That happened.
For science.
Okay, so with that said, Vince, what do you do?
Open that box.
How do you do that?
Is it locked? Does it look locked at all?
So it's got a handle on it, with what looks like a latch that you grab a hold of and pull up, like a trunk lid. You gonna do that?
Okay, I'll just open
Okay, it
it.
does have a lock hole, I should say, right on the front, and a steel strike plate that secures it. As you grab a hold of the latch and lift, to your chagrin, it seems locked.
Okay. I'll pull out
You hear
my
a rattling behind you as Cherrick says, "This one too."
Okay. We should just smash it open. That is the best option here.
Okay. You take a mighty swing with a d20.
18.
Your axe embeds itself in the wood with how much damage?
7 damage.
7 points of damage? Fantastic.
Yeah.
You smash down into it, causing 7 points of damage. It's going to have an absorption 5 for 2 points.
Okay.
It smashes down into it. Your axe wedges against the wood, and to your chagrin, doesn't actually break anything. You pull it out a moment later. It gives a squeak as it comes out. That's how tightly it was wedged into the wood. That said, the camera pans against Jarek's face as he looks at you and says, thinking there's probably a key somewhere around here. Who would have found one? If there was any on any buddies and he thinks back, none of them had any belongings. He looks over towards... Hey?
Alright, no, you continue.
I was just going to say, he looks over towards Ekusao and Nephilim and says, "Is there anything over there?"
What's the silver thing next to it? Is that just a cobweb?
It's a shield actually.
Oh. It is a shield.
It's a large Bellendorn crested silver shield situated sitting on top of the table next to the brain jar. It's kind of haphazardly sitting there, like somebody might have put it down and forgotten it.
Yeah. I peek under it for the key.
Look at this. You lift it up, and sure as shit, there is a key ring situated underneath. It's got a simple leather tag hanging off it.
Heck, let's open up the brain.
I still think we should kill the brain.
To your disappointment, there's 3 keys on the key ring and no keyhole on the brain jar.
Oh, okay. I'll toss the.
So I'll just describe the jar. It's got a metal bottom, a glass top, and then a glass middle, and then a metal top. So you got metal, glass, metal. And if I was to draw it, just so you could like squint and not see it, it'd be nice actually if you could draw in Skype. But I don't think you can do that.
It's not a thing. I know other ones have it.
Okay, you're gonna lose feed for a second. I'm just gonna see if I can. No, there's nothing like that.
Really? That's weird.
That is weird.
Very much thought there'd be a thing.
Reasons to use other apps, I guess, eh?
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Where were we then? So it's got a metal lid, if you will, that you can't see a hinge upon or a keyhole upon, and it's got a metal bottom, and then of course a thick glass middle cylinder portion.
Is the top of it just like a smooth top, or does it seem like any sort of mechanism might act as a key?
There doesn't. I would say that it's a simple metal topper, a simple cylinder cap, like a bottle cap made of metal.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll just throw the keyring over to Jarek to open the chest big way.
Okay. The ring jangles through the air as Jarek looks over towards you and looks down at it on the ground and says, "You might warn a person."
Jarek, heads up. Alright.
He grabs a hold of the key as it jangles and looks through the keys and then slots one into the lock, and with a satisfying kerclunk, the tumblers unlatch. He pulls open the lid on the metal box and looks down inside and gives a low sigh. Nothing much in here. What's this? And he reaches over, and as he bends down and lifts up a pair of metal bars, it looks like at first, but you can see that while they each have a handle, the end of each has a bunch of cuts in it, and it's tapered oddly, so it's kind of got a weird diamond-headed shape on one, and then an hourglass shape on the other. And so it's basically 2 rods about yay big. As I said, there's a handle, and then one's got a diamond sort of carved into the top, so it like goes skinny and then fat and then skinny again. And then the other one has a sort of hourglass where it's fat and then goes skinny and then fat again. They're starkly different. They don't look like they would fit together or anything like that. One's rounded, one's straight edged.
They might have to find 2 different things to match it.
He looks at the base of one of them and gives a nod and says, "It's got a Bellendorn crest on the bottom of the handle."
Ooh. Oh, so they may have been like letter sealers.
He says they're a bit big for that, don't you think? And they are. They're about I want to say 1.5 inches thick.
Oh, okay. What do you make of them, Derek? Or
cleric gives a shake of his head at first, and then makes a history check. The first roll was a 3, but it fell off. Now he's got a 13. He gives a shake of his head at first, and then starts nodding a bit. And he says, "I think it's a key. If I'm not mistaken, those are in fact keys that you'd use for interlocks, large slabs of steel or stone. Typically used as handles, in fact. Once they fit into position, they unlock whatever it is that you need to move out of the way. The question is, do we need both of them? We may as well take both with."
Might as well carry both.
Right, I need the keys so I can try this chest.
He holds them up. They jangle ahead of you. As you take it and slot it into the wooden, slot the other key into the wooden chest, it doesn't fit. You try the next one and find that it does. As you pull open the lid of that one, you see inside several stacked suits of leather studded jerkins on the one side, a pair of boots folded neatly over top next to a set of gloves. It looks like 2 sets of studded leather armor, and you can see arcanic sigils written down the sides that you immediately recognize the dwarven words for protectorate, protection, defense, shield, that sort of thing. Beside them, you see several robes stacked neatly, and finally some breeches, shoes, boots, that sort of thing. There's some satchels folded at the back of the chest. They look squashed up, like they don't have anything in them. They're just the bags.
There's some armor.
Yeah, well, could you benefit through some armor knuckle?
Or wisdom?
Pardon?
What did you say?
Could you benefit from some light armor?
My armor is currently just a studded, I believe.
But this one, it seemed like it had some inscriptions on it, like maybe some buffs.
Seems like these are protected.
Yeah, well, I'll check it out, certainly. I'll take it if you want me to investigate it further.
2 sets here.
I'm not gonna put on things in the creepy room of there's a freaking brain there without checking it out.
The brain's watching you, yeah.
I'm really not cool with the brain. The brain freaks me the hell out.
Alright, well, do you want to just pack these ones up and...
Pack it, sure. Yeah, quick description.
Leather armor.
So you had 2 sets of studded leather armor that looks magical in nature. Several sets of robes. So we'll say there's 6 robes. The robes, they're all brown, and they've got the Bellendorn crest on the back in simple white thread. They're nicely made. They're not burlap. They've got a sort of fur lining at strategic points of the shoulders and what, so they probably keep you warm in cold climates, or at least underground. There's a bunch of satchels in here.
Studded?
Sorry?
Is it 2 studded?
2 studded suits of leather armor, yeah. 2 suits of studded leather armor. Take those words and flip them around a bit.
Yeah. I'm gonna pass, cause I use like unarmed defense, but we should probably take them if they're +1, we could make some money off of them.
Yeah, I'm noting them as from leg studded on ID.
Okay. Anything in the satchels?
Like I said before, they're empty. They're just squashed up satchels for the taking, though. Good design.
Satchel. I'll leave those.
Okay.
Should probably find wherever this other third key goes.
rack in the corner and several stacked boxes of rations.
What do you think? Should we move on or investigate this brain more?
Carrying these two studs.
I can carry one.
I got it. Wait, Wes, I'm fine.
Okay.
Do you have room on you, in your backpack or something? Do you have that much?
I guess that's a logical question. Is what's the volume of a studded leather when you stuff it?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Like an entire backpack on its own.
I don't know much else.
If you
in
have,
my backpack.
if you have a
It's
large sack or a backpack that's mostly empty, but you're saying you don't have a lot on you.
I really don't. I have a lyre, which is probably the biggest thing I have size-wise.
It's probably not in your bag, but like beside it. I would imagine your instrument's strapped to it somehow.
Yeah, that's what I can.
Excuse me. All right. So with that in mind, I'm gonna say that you can carry one of the suits of leather in your backpack. If you're gonna take both, you're gonna need like something else to carry the other one in terms of encumbrance.
Rope? I mean, like the rope?
Like what? Sorry.
Like rope?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that-
Tie it to the outside of your bag?
I'm down with that. That's a good solve.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll do that
So
with the back, too.
I'm just gonna. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
They're not particularly heavy. It's just
Yeah, just like
What, a suit of leather, studded leather armor? I'm pretty sure the book weight on that is like 20 pounds. How much? 13?
13.
13? 13? So
Yeah.
you have 26 pounds. You have 26 pounds of weight strapped to the top of your strapped into in the top of your bag.
No, I'm holding one too.
You're holding one too? Okay. That disperses. Okay, I'm good with that.
Cool.
If you want one, yeah, that totally helps me out.
Yeah.
I didn't have my else, honestly. Like, I studded on me and a lyre.
Alright.
And that's about it.
So two suits of leather armor, you guys got dispersed, you guys got your got the loots, as it were. As I said, there's a silver shield with the Belladorn crest on it. You found the keys under it. I don't know if anybody cares about the shield. The weapon rack has two spears, a halberd, and the rest is axes all the way down. So there's 4 axes. We'll even make a variety. We'll say there's one of them is a hand axe, and the other 3 are great axes, or battle axes. And just for my own double checking here, what's everyone's passive perceptions?
12.
Well,
Judah?
12.
So with the 12, everybody, that's to say, nobody sees anything additional, as it were. You do note the cobwebs for a second time, just because they're all over the place. Like the corners are laden with them. It's bad.
I'll check the cobwebs to see if there's like any more keys or anything in the cobwebs.
Okay. Throw me perception.
Okay.
active.
It's gonna be 11.
You get down on your hands and knees, checking under the shelves there, and you don't find anything special other than like mouse droppings in the darkness. But as you're looking upwards, being that you're taller than the average dwarf, you can kind of come towards the ceiling in this place. So as you're looking around, you actually find there's fresh air coming from little flumes built into the walls. And it suddenly hits you why there would be cobwebs in the place. There's actually dust coming in. Point being though, as you breathe for a moment and can smell the outside coming through the wall here, that's about it. Otherwise, you hear a squeak of a mouse far away.
So yeah, there's some ventilation going throughout this library. I'll like relay all that information to the others.
Okay. Ikusel lets everybody know there's vents near the ceiling. I want to say there's moisture buildup in there too. I don't know how the size would work.
Oh, okay.
I'm not an HVAC specialist.
Yeah, they're just like a small pipe, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm just imagining like a hewn hole.
Oh, okay. Just like a hole in the wall, or is it like an actual, like it looks like like a tunnel somewhere?
There's a couple of them, and they're little square outlets that are venting out. You can see, like as far as your vision will allow you, you can see it actually curves off and heads towards the outer wall of the place.
Okay. Okay.
As you sit there for a moment, you start to hear the dripping of water as your ears keen to it.
Alright.
What's your passive insight? What's your insight here?
14.
Alright, you kind of get the feeling like there's a chamber beyond here.
Yeah. Like a secret chamber. But how do we get to it? And it's like above us?
You're not sure. You can't really see much through the hole.
These holes are on the roof.
They're in line with the roof. So here's the roof, and then here's the hole's bottom. And so there's a tunnel leading away along there, if you will.
Oh,
and so you're looking up, you're like on your tippy toes, peering into this hole, and you're listening for it. You can hear like dripping water and a little bit of air rushing through, and your own breath, right? You can kind of like feel moisture and cold coming off there. It's just, it's fresh, cold air.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to like try to catch a mouse and like tie a rope to it and send it through the pipe. Let's see where it goes or how long it is.
Right. Unfortunately, you don't have a mouse with you at the moment.
Yeah,
but that all said, the camera pans against.
I don't know what that would like achieve for us. So like,
Jarek looks up towards you and then over towards Neffel and Vince in the background as the camera pans against you guys. What do you say? What do you do?
Oh, these bars seem like the key, right? Let's take them to the crypt. Is that where it was?
Oh yeah, those things might be going in the crypt, in the tomb. Well, yeah, I'm kind of intrigued where these pipes go. If there's another room that we could go to, possibly, but not too sure how to follow them. So we could just like quickly go back to the tomb or Underhome.
Yeah.
All right, let's try to get out of here then.
Jarek heads towards the door. Vince following him behind. Yeah. Ikusel in with Neffel as you guys leave the chamber. Camera pans down against the seam. Sure, you guys descend down, coming along to the water's edge here, where it laps and burbles. The camera pans against, coming to rest in line with the scene. It slowly draws forward, situated over top. We see down below, well, nothing, because I haven't bothered to flood the place, but point being, all you're confronted with is a scene of dark water lapping up to the edge down below, having flooded that whole space there. This here is, or sorry, no, it was there before. It's reached up and is there's a skiff of water resting over top here. The bottom of this shelf just covered by there's about a foot of water down here.
Okay, I was saying I kind of wanted to do this back when we were in this area before we continued on the rest of the library, but all of the rations from this area were floating in the water, so can I say I grabbed some rations from that other room?
That's fine.
Okay. I want to try to, like, maybe bait whatever might be hiding in this water by, like, throwing some rations and kind of baiting it out.
Alright, cool. You do that.
You're beastie.
Has a bunch of rations splish splash.
I'm actually giving you inspiration at the moment.
Why are you wasting
Okay.
food?
Nice. Got it.
Yeah, so you have bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do that, eh? That sucks. Oh, I don't have it turned on. Sorry, I thought I had, one sec, I want to try something. Some tick. Right now is the time. Leave you on the edge of your seat.
It's a big seat, it's a whole couch.
That kind of worked. So it's like see through there. I don't know. I'm trying to make it like so you guys are bigger on here. There's no hope though.
A bigger wolf on my chest.
I can do it. I'm alright with you guys being. I don't know. I have a dream. I'll figure this out eventually.
There you go.
So, getting back to it. Do I have? Please tell me I have. But I don't seem to have. Oh,
But
this-
maybe you have.
Alright, let me see if this will slow down. Alright, cool. So the water's lapping at the edge there, and you hurtling your rations into the water one after the next. They splash down into the water and then float on the surface as a little splut takes place with each one. The little bits of, the little squares at this distance. How many are you throwing in? Like, how many, like a day's worth of rations, I guess, would amount to how much. So, whatever. You guys, like, scoop and throw whatever this is, mashed bread and meat that's been, salted and whatever. It goes into the water. There it floats and kind of, like, decomposes in the moisture, turning into puddles of ration. Like, I'm imagining Spam, if you just threw it into the water, would probably float. This doesn't do that. It's more like a constituted can of spaghetti, or like soup, actually. Just a big gelatinous blob of soup that you throw into the water, and then it slowly... So anyway, it unconstitutes really quickly, and turns into this splut-filled, just puddle floating out there. You do this a couple times over, and you guys wait. And a moment passes by and nothing happens. And Jared looks towards you and says, well, that was for... As a roar suddenly splashing occurs, a roaring splashing occurs in the water before you, spraying out as a tentacle slaps out from the water's basin and smashes against the pavement, where the splut floats on the surface. as it breaks the water in a black streak and then slithers back and disappears under the water a moment later. The camera pans against each of your faces. What's Neffle's expression at this? What's Vince's expression at this?
Are you kidding me?
Hey, Gustav's?
I'm kind of like in a ready stand. Did we see any part of it, or did it stay underwater?
The whole of it seems to have stayed underwater.
We just like it made a sound. Okay.
Back from the red edge and ready my crossbow. Combat bow.
If
Sounds good.
possible, it might be kind of beneficial to like take a breather and a short rest before we start the battle.
I'll be right back. I got this.
Lay
We
on
just
that.
go up to the maybe a higher level and just sit down for a minute.
Yeah, I'd love, dude. I'm like a couple XP away from leveling, and I think you guys are waiting for rest to level, right?
Yeah. I'm like
Appropriately, I can give you guys a nice touch of heroism for 1 minute each.
maybe I just like I'm down 10 hit
In that easy mode.
Just said that you're
points.
Heroism. Remember running up that stairwell with heroism?
Yeah, that was Vince, the plus 5 HP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Per level, I can affect an additional person with that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, if I get like the 10 HP back out of that full health, then if we did it, or if we were to do that for now, and then we just run like that, we're just down a person.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy's not anywhere to be seen, and sorry, what's his actual name? I'm so bad about that because I just make character names.
Who is it?
There's another J.
Justin?
Well, yeah, and I usually make Jeremy because I haven't read that and other stuff. Camping and shit. Kind of lame that they decided to do that.
What do we do, gentlemen?
Alright.
What?
Do you want to just give out arrows and then we go for it?
Yeah, I step in between the two and I touch both of them and give them each heroism.
Cool.
Each,
Yeah.
just to recap on that point, your gain temporary HP equal to the spellcaster's ability modifier, which is 5 at the start of each turn. When the spell ends, which is 1 minute, and each HP are lost.
Cool.
Every round you gain 5 temporary HP.
Yeah, for like 10 rounds.
For 10 rounds. Do shit now.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. Let's try to get this thing's attention. I'll go ahead and step out into the water, where it's about a foot deep, and then maybe just like start splashing around. If that makes sense.
What?
Oh yeah, should we like anchor ourselves?
Let's first roping.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, we're not in combat yet, so I'm roping us all together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we all have those characters.
One, so it's easy to grab.
Jarek looks at you and says, anchor ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, tie it around my own waist and wrap it around each of your waist. Not tied.
We're all just tying in to each other, or like to a rock or something.
No, just to each other.
Okay, sure. Yeah, basically. I mean, we all have hope, though, don't we?
Yeah. I'm the only one who's tied. You guys are just loose, wrapped around your waist. Low up.
Okay.
Easily grabbable but not trappable.
Okay. We're all tied to each other. Alright.
I'm tied. You guys are just wrapped around.
What? How are we wrapped around? Like,
The rope is around your waist, but not tied to your waist. Make you grab it easily, but it's just moving on to the next person.
oh, so she's at my waist. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and tie myself and anchor myself. There, that way, like,
The anchor.
yeah.
Pull off if you want.
Alright, I'm tied off. And then I'm gonna walk in, to the shallow section of water.
Jeremy never responded to me. I don't know what's up with him right now, but
You make your way out. How you doing there? Alright. As you guys make your way here, down into the water you step. Wet splashes slapping as you take step after step trepidatiously through the water.
Yeah, I'm like splashing around trying to get it out of the water.
We watch as you move into view, the water lapping hard against the edge. You can hear the rain still pattering lightly. In the black down below, you don't see anything. And you smell the death, the mildew, the old ration, unconstituted slapping against your boots. Bits of peas rolling over against your pant legs. It's disgusting. The smell is unreal. Mixed in with everything else, it's terrible. It's like apartment cooking. It's horrifying. But the point is, as you stare down into the blackness, the water lapping hard, you can hear the thundering outside. The water is still against your boots. Your perception at 12 doesn't reveal anything.
Dang. We're gonna have to split out?
You hear something, a rumbling. It's rhythmic, odd, like a quickened heartbeat, and it resonates from the pit for a moment, and then it's gone.
I make that sound back to it.
You try to like grumble it back or something. It resonates, like we're talking, like you can hear it resonating off of the water ahead of you, like the whole of it over a speaker.
Okay.
Alright, make yourselves lost to die. You guys watch as he's standing in the waters. And I'm gonna say that Buddy takes a hint from you, and he sets himself up a 50-foot line as well. He hammers a python into the tiles and lets himself go from that. As he follows you out, splish splash, I was hunting for something. Once upon a crazy dark night. I'll walk in over here because the framing's good. Anyway, so situated there next to you, he looks about. The camera pans to show your compatriots up top. It doesn't really have to go anywhere, but you guys are here. You know. With Nephil and Vince safely keeping the defense in the rear. The two of you now situated out in the water. Still watch as nothing occurs. Resonates out from within the waters. It echoes all around the chamber, the sound meandering at the back of your ear canals for a moment before it's gone altogether. You feel it in your chest, like if you were sitting on a bass speaker.
I wanna maybe.
There's loose rock or rubble somewhere around, right? Like, yep.
Is that who now?
Is there like loose rock or rubble?
There's a decent amount of it, especially from where the ceiling caved in overhead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Toss some of that into the water.
Okay. You walk over towards.
Yeah.
You're gonna go into the waters?
Yeah.
Are you roped off?
I am loosely wrapped and attached to Nephil.
And you say this is about
When you say
2 hours
loosely-
since-
How? Sorry, say it again?
So, just wrapped around but not tied up. So
Okay.
like, the rope
Is this a 50-foot length of cord? This is a 50-foot length
Yeah.
rope here? Alright,
is
terrific.
very long.
Just making sure. Alright, we're good. So, we're just gonna stay abreast of a 50-foot distance between you guys at all times.
Okay.
Fortunately, this is kind of open concept here. So, this is oh no, it's down there. This is a wall. So, you go to here and you're like, move it! And you gotta, like, follow in. So, that's unfortunate. But you guys head in. That's cool. As you guys walk yonder, you guys are gonna go in behind these guys, I assume. Making your way in towards where the rubble is. There you be. That work for you guys?
Toss some of that.
Can't see much. But sure.
There you go. Now we can see.
Camera is gonna pan backwards. Actually, I gotta reposition myself to do the job though. That is to say, we're gonna go to here. And how does that look? That doesn't look too much better. So, like something like, you can do it. I believe in you and shit. All right, like so. Yes. The fuck is that? Okay, that's not. Right. So, as I were, camera pans up against the scene to show you guys there. Water's supposed to be lapping again. A foot skip of it resting where you guys are standing. And if I can do. No, that's not what I want. Oh shit, that worked very good. Alright, great. You know, kind of think of it. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it, man. Let's zoom in. Let's get crazy and shit. Okay, so it shows you guys there, as it were. Kind of cut you off there, sorry, buddy. Shows you guys situated there on the stairs. Water lapping away, and as it zooms in upon where a lot of you stand, you throw the bricks into the water, and as you do this, the rock hurtles away and splashes down deep upon the black water, and you hear something growl from under the surface before it suddenly leaps out and stands aloft in front of you.
Okay.
The camera pulls it back suddenly to show it standing in front. And then dollies into
Dungeon.
it. Heroish.
Okay, I'm gonna step back, give it some space.
Everybody can roll initiative. Windex out here, do I? Holy hell, there's no Windex out here, guys.
What are we facing exactly? I'm a little lost.
I missed what he said.
He didn't really say what it was. He said the creature came out of the water.
You didn't say what it was, but it's gonna kill us. Yay!
Yeah. Didn't think it would move that fast.
It's always fun dying from unidentified creatures.
Well, yeah, no.
It's life for a lot of adventurers.
You're much relieved, I will say, that whatever the hell is standing before you, in all its massive, maybe 7-foot stature and bulbous form, it seems to lack the tentacle that you saw earlier. Maybe that's a bad thing, because now it means possibly there's something tentacled away as it opens its massive jaw and slithers out a large black tongue on a large coil behind its, that you can see resting there, the gums aligned with the razor sharp teeth. You realize there is no separate tentacle. In fact, it wasn't a tentacle at all, it was the tongue. So that's really good. Maybe, sort of. I don't know.
It's a
how you feel about
tentacle.
Giant.
it. That said, though, with a 23 on Nephil Akusal, what you got?
A natural 1.
Terrific. We know you're honest about your die rolls. Where are we there? Nephil.
It's right there.
Not insinuating shit. I wasn't insinuating shit. Vince, what you got?
13.
Very good, sir. And your dungeon master, frog-like thing that I am, will be going on a 12. That's that. Nephil, regale me with a moment of heroism, if you could.
Looking upon the creature, I see it, and not wanting to waste any time.
Time is of the essence.
Hmm?
Nothing. Sorry, I should shut up.
Throw out a chaos bolt. Chaos bolt. And 16 damage of lightning.
Wait, do I make a save? Do I make a save?
Take a ranged spell attack. Sorry, I missed that step.
I going for a 14 or better.
Not 15 spell attack. Um, 16 lightning damage.
15 you said?
16.
16? So that you said?
Yeah, not leaping.
Your Chaos Bolt fires off, strikes against its carapace, and he watches it singes against its momentarily illuminated to be green skin.
Yeah.
It roars out in anger and fury as you what, sorry?
I'll use my bonus action to throw an inspiration onto Akusal.
Okay,
I already have it.
Oh, okay, I'll throw it onto,
I was wrong, it's 15, but it doesn't matter, I'm just letting everybody know. So just correcting that.
throw on the other one.
Dex lag and inspiration.
And that's you, sir? Or do you want to move or anything?
I can't see where I am on the board right now, so I'm not really moving.
this, and that.
Okay. Seems a reasonable location to be.
Sorry?
Oh, I'm on the right there, aren't I? I'm pretty reasonable.
The illumination is kind of lacking in here. Let's light your way.
Alright.
Need a flashlight. I have a flashlight in here.
Well, thankfully my mini's easy to spot giant blue thing.
There it is.
The whole got,
Yes.
is that Volko or Vince?
There's Vince right there, and Bogle is not here at all. Like, he's not currently in the game.
Sorry, Vince, so you've got Bardic.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm good.
Cool.
And thank you for the illumination.
That works, actually. That works great. So you fire a chaos bolt, it strikes against the carapace of the beast, does damage, and from there it's over to Vince.
Alright. I'll run up towards it and make an attack.
I realize it drowns out you guys, so I'll turn that down.
17 to hit.
17 smokes him. And you're hitting him with what?
A great axe.
Okay, sounds good. You come flying forward, taking a wild swing towards.
And that's 7 damage towards it.
7 damage, nice. Thing comes flying in and smashes against him. He lets out a nice growl of pain. His massive teeth sputtering with fluids, and his tongue unrolls for a moment as if it means to strike. He gives a hiss as it suddenly flies towards you. With a 4+ bonus, you bring up. Or do you have your shield out?
Not if you just use your axe.
I'm using my great axe. It's 2-handed.
Fair enough. Alright, with that said, you bring out your axe and manage to catch the tongue against the flat of the blade as you bring the axe around, using its weight to carry it forth. Camera pans. And then as that occurs, it then is a nat 20 on the first of 2 claw strikes, the second being the crit fail. Go figure. So we're going to get 2 strikes with the damage in one go, because why the fuck not? Let me just double check the damage. I guess I should have. It's been a while since I had to wear the thing. Oh, nice. So 6 times 2 for 12 points of damage plus 3. Sorry, one sec.
You know it's never good when he has to pull out a calculator.
Yeah.
I just keep double checking stats. Yeah, plus 3. So what did I say there? So 15 points. 15 points of damage.
Your THP.
Were you attacking this?
Yeah, no, this was on Vince there. So that was his turn. He takes 2 quick claw strikes after trying to grab him with his tongue. And the camera pans away to Ekusao.
Okay, I'm going to poison my dart.
Oh, sorry, he's also gonna jump over to here. As he does so, the whole of the place grumbles as he smashes through the bookshelf, the whole of it exploding away as his huge gelatinous stature smashes against the wall. He wetly and hugely lands upon the bookshelf and splinters fly in all directions. That's really not the sort of sound I wanted at all. Land. As he situates himself there, the camera swings back to Kusao.
Okay, on my dart, I rolled 12 plus 5 for 17 to hit.
17 hits.
For 6 damage
6 damage. Fantastic stuff.
on a poison dart.
How much of that was poison damage?
I don't know. I have a vial of poison.
Oh, did you apply it to the darts and that's what we're dealing with?
Yeah.
Okay, he's immune to poison damage, so.
Okay, cool. He took 6 damage from the dart. And if he has 3 attacks, maybe I'll just like try to.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Yeah, you don't want to get hit by that if you don't.
Yeah, I might try to duck into the doorway then.
Okay. Pulling back and rushing up towards the ramp. This is a
I
ramp.
meant maybe the other way.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Rushing in towards the water. You situate yourself. It's not a door, eh? It's a set of pillars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is open edge. This is all open from there down. This was the wall here. This is,
All the water down there. Okay.
and then this is this right here was a little cubby. Yeah, that had the stone in the floor.
Okay.
The
Alright,
the
then.
extension is called Ren right now.
Sorry, say again.
On the overlay for the stream is showing Ren as an active character.
Oh wow. So what's our key sound finishing off with? Should fix that.
Then that'll be. Yeah, that'll be my turn then.
Alright. You're not moving or anything? Oh yeah, you moved over towards there. Oh yeah, try to mix up. Whipping out one of the darts in your employ, it smashes wetly against the thing's surface. As it stabs into a spongy form, it lets out a sharp rebeak, if you will, which is sort of like an eek and a ribbit mixed together. A moment later, the dart clatters to the floor. A little spurt of black ichor and whatever poison it was attempting to inject follow. Looking upon the massive stature of the beast, it looks your way as the tongue waggles back and forth within its jaw. A moment later, it fires the tongue out. With a 19 natural, it strikes upon you. As you attempt to dodge out of the way of it, it wraps its way around your thigh and pulls you towards itself by 5 feet. The massive, long, black tongue is stretched tight as a guitar strings a mandolin string, as it's wrapped strongly around your leg and seems to have wrapped itself around and is just like waggling and tasting you as it's strapped around your thigh. So I won't get into the specifics of where the tongue is licking, but anyway, point is it's pulling you towards and pulls you in by 5 feet so far. You can make an escape check on your turn, and it's over to Neville.
Jarek needs to take a turn, doesn't he?
Oh, that's true, actually. Thank you. Jarek will take a turn with a 4+ bonus. He was holding his turn. Anyway, he rushes in and attacks with a 13+ bonus upon the tongue. He is going to do 2 plus 3 damage for this guy. So 5 damage to the tongue. It snaps off as he cuts it, and the strapped part that is stuck to you just like suddenly falls dead limp, stops licking you. As the rest of the tongue pulls back like a Venetian blind gone crazy, or what is it, one of those rolly sort of blinds, if you will, slaps back into the thing's jaw. It screeches out, howling in absolute anger and pain. At which point, the camera is going to sweep. Oh yeah, it's gonna rush in. Sweep to Neville.
Alright, I step in for Vince, and I use my L2 slot for a Q wounds on him.
Okay.
Okay.
Eight, 3, and 16 to Vince.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Out of stealth slots. Does anyone not have bardic inspiration?
Really
It's
good.
good.
Hey, you
Yeah.
hit it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
And I'll step back a little bit to as safe of a distance as I can get. Readying my crossbow for my next turn.
Right up. Casting out upon your compatriot, he feels the healing effects of your magic wash across him.
Yeah. That would be nice.
Don't expect how much more.
And then a moment
Look at
later,
that.
sorry, did I just miss that? Neville just cast the healing?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're not doing
And
anything.
to as much distance as I can and ready my crossbow.
Okay, that's fair. You back yourself up a little further, and pulling your crossbow from your belt, place a bolt in the trough. And that's your turn.
That's me.
The water splashes against your boots as you calm your nerves the best you can in the moment. Seeing the massive green gelatinous thing, you watch as Jarek slashes the tongue with his massive axe, and the camera comes panning back towards where Vince stands before you. As Vince looks over towards the quarry,
Smash the quarry.
Throw a grenade.
you're gonna throw a grenade? It'll hit everybody.
Pulling out the big guns.
Is there anything I need to do like for hits or just the roll the damage?
You're rolling an attack roll, oddly enough.
Okay.
A ranged attack roll.
16 on the dice.
That's good odds.
So that's 16 to hit.
Oh, sorry. It's 5d6 points of damage, and like I said, Jarek and Ikusawa are getting hit with this.
They're close enough? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah,
That's actually 5 feet smaller than it needs to be. That's way too
20
big.
damage.
20 damage. Oh, terrific stuff.
Wait,
That's,
4 foot? Oh fuck.
I'm completely out of gas as far as making people not die after this.
that's cool. That's cool. I'm just gonna double check to make sure there's no saves.
You just pull out a nuclear hand grenade.
Yeah, there's a save. If you pass, I think it's DC 15, you only take half damage.
That's right. That's what it is. Oh, it's not even an attack roll. Never mind.
I may die.
So it's a DC 15 dex save, as you say. Jarek is
Yeah,
just not gonna
10
fucking make that. And he's gonna take 20 damage, like a champ. That's cool. I'm alright with that.
You happy about the HP
Um,
right now?
He had damage before.
I made the save too.
Fuck, man. Did you make the save?
I got 16, 19.
Good for you, man. I didn't. So you can take half damage, which is 10. And and I'm gonna fall unconscious. Actually, is what's gonna happen. So Jarek gets blasted back and falls face first down in the water. So that's cool. As the grenade clanks and splashes down in the water, I'm gonna make a save for my big. Oh, sweet, my frog made it. That's cool. Why not, right? That's awesome. His massive gelatinous form explodes open against the grenade as it's flayed from the bottom up like a fuck, I don't even know what, man. A piece of plastic with a heat gun on it, if you will. It just like curls back the skin in layers, sheaves up and rolls over itself. Sheaves up and rolls over itself, curling away from where Icarus starts to splash out as a thing, lets out a super high-pitched squeal that almost pierces against your drums. Pained and leaking in new fashion, the whole of it ripples against the concussive blast as Jarek unfortunately lands singed in the face and beard, face down in the muck, being thrown away by the blast. The camera pans against the scene of this to show Vince's face. What's his expression?
This is why I don't throw things.
Yeah, what you got?
Hey, Daddy.
Oh, I wish that. Love you.
Love you.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Alright, now it's time to go.
Hey,
Okay.
As we were, sorry. I guess it's me, eh? Well,
That's kind
and then back to a small piece.
if you hit Icarus now,
Yes.
um, 6 points of slashing damage from 2 quick claw attacks that come up towards you as the hurtling massive limbs come swinging down upon you. Each one of them heavy and leathery, covered in moisture and God knows what, smashing down upon your defense as you attempt to block and roll with the strikes. You find them carving slightly against your body, leaving bruises under your clothes. As their heavy hits strike against where you're situating yourself, trying your damnedest to keep your defense, but it's just so fucking big. As the waters splash around messily, chaotically, the whole of it growling and rolling over top you, Garrett pans back to show Jarek floating in the water as his body twitches, his face burbling away, and he automatically fails his death save from being face down in the water. Camera swings over to Ekusao. Your massive opponent's stature looming overhead. Yeah, let's see
Yep.
what
Run over.
Yeah. If I stabilize Jarek, we'll call
I'll
it
do the match. Don't worry about it. That's my job.
Okay.
In the fight, it's your job.
Alright, I'll attack with my quarterstaff.
You bear your quarterstaff with both hands, getting ready to take a mighty swing.
For a 13 to hit.
13 misses by 2.
Alright, I'm gonna take a dash action to step away.
Ow! Dude.
Oh, Bardic! I rolled a 1.
Are you serious?
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna inspire you.
Oh. The demon.
Alright. I rolled another d6 and got a 5 for that.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 5 plus 4 for damage for 9 damage. And then I'm gonna take the dash action to back off to where Nephil and Vince are standing.
Ain't gonna be standing there for long.
Bringing him to 45 points of damage. As you give him the quick old 1-2 and then a hi-ya. I used to be able to get that a lot higher. You bash and punch, kick your way through the gelatinous form of his, ichor flying away from the body like you were squeezing a dirty sponge. Bits of mildew fly off of his skin, warts and whatnot, you can feel them developing already on your knuckles. As you finish your strike, the whole of his massive self seems like a fat man having been beaten in a fight. His huge form hulking, tired, wounded, over top you. And then with a renewed vigor, he seems to breathe anew, and with his stunted tiny tongue leaking in his mouth, he spits it out towards you. But to no avail, as you quickly dodge out of the way and give a quick slap with your hand and move back into face-off against him, having successfully defended against his tongue that now winds its way back into his massive maw as quickly as his wounded self can. From there, the camera pans to show Nephil in the background.
Alright. Inspired and in defense of my ally, my radiant soul invigorates myself with glimmering eyes and incorporeal wings sprouting from my back. I fly my way to my waterlogged ally and do what deed I can as far as actions to grab him and to get him the fuck out of the water.
Alright, sounds good. That's a terrible camera angle. That's more like what we were going for. You rush forward, you're sprouting wings?
I use my standard action for the Radiant Soul,
Right.
and I'm using my move and free actions as best I can to try to get him out of the water.
I got that. Throw me a strength.
That 12. Plus 0. 12.
You know what? Fuck it. With the power of the Radiant Soul, your power vested in yourself, like an anime full of angst and vigor, you fly forth, your massive energized wings showing huge glowing effects on the walls. It's beautiful. It's all like caustic and shit. It's like, whoa, flappy wings. As you make your way in towards your compatriot, grabbing a hold of him, and you manage to fling him up and onto the slope here, where he lands head first, rolling to a halt, but perfectly in the recovery position. And where are you finishing your movement, though?
In flight. Way as high as I can.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Like high or high? Away from the opponent or just high up?
As best I can in both directions, 45 below.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Fly speed 30.
Your fly speed is 30?
Yeah.
Well, I thought you might have had 60 in this. In that case, you make it to him. You don't actually save him this round. You would need to double move. So you get 2 of this turn. But you know what? I'm going to do you a solid. You know what? I'm going to do you a solid. Rule of cool. He lands there. He's good. You know what? I want Jared to survive, so it works. It's fine. It's fine. And I'll even let you have right here. How's that sound? We're just going to put you on blackguard because otherwise I'll be here all fucking night trying to get him to stand. So that's how it's going to be.
I'm good.
You get Jarek into a position where he can live, and that's a good thing. Finishing out your turn with your massive wings behind you, you look like Mercy, but, you know, a dude. That's epic. Also, no metal, but, you know. So, with that said, the camera swings over
The healing metal. Come on.
to show Vince sidelong
That's healing.
across from the massive green thing. You stand, one single honorable dwarf in the background. Ready, raring. You could have been a contender. What are you doing?
I want to move up closer and attack.
Yeah, baby! You close the distance in on the opposition as the camera swings all Michael Bay shit style.
And being inspired earlier, I'm going for this swing as 15 to hit.
That'll hit. Dead on. As you come rush again.
And that's 7 points of damage.
7 points as you cleave upon him. 52 points he's up to as you leave a huge gash across his stomach. As the leathery bits of him peel away and you can see more layers underneath him, but still Icar begins to pour down like one of those surface moves that's not quite so deep, but you're still bleeding because fuck. And then, as you pull back, his massive tongue shoots out towards you. Still stunted, but still capable. Icar splashes into your face, and as the distraction strikes you, so does the tongue, wrapping its way around your shoulder, and he pulls you into his massive maw. Because you're literally adjacent to him, so. Point being, he swallows you. Awesome. No, I'm kidding. It has to happen next turn, but that's okay. For this turn, you're wrapped up and restrained.
Yeah.
With that said, the camera swings away from your surprised face to my turn. Now he's going to do it on his turn. He spends his action swallowing it. As you guys watch him suddenly disappear into the gullet of the beast, you note he doesn't chew you, but you do take 5 points of damage, bludgeoning, as you're swallowed down into his depths. The acid damage starts next turn. As you find yourself in the squishy, disgusting, fluid-filled insides of the beast, the camera pulls back out through the esophagus past the massive teeth to show you guys in behind as he suddenly goes burp. From there, the camera swings to Jarek down on the ground, who gets to actually make a save this turn. And he's gonna fail that too. Yeah, baby! So he's one away from death, and the camera swings to Ekusao, facing off against this huge thing, this nightmare beast. Ekusao, what are you doing? You're muted, dude. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I did. I took 2 short sword attacks. I did 22 7.
Terrific. So for 11 points of damage, bringing him to 63. Terrific stuff. As two quick swipes across him, slash him near the eyes and mouth, leaving ichor splashing into the water around. Bits of old ration and peas roll through the now ichorized water. I mean, the smell was bad before, but now it's horrendous. As you finish off in a nice stance down below, your blades dripping of black blood from the beast. What's the expression on your face?
I'm like wrinkling my nose.
Camera pans over towards where Nephil stands.
Realizing I have, wings, I fly straight up above the creature, pointing straight down at it above its head as far as I can get from its head. I'm literally shooting straight down with my crossbow.
Alright, sounds good. Flying up above the beast. I don't have any news.
You can have fun trying to figure out how to make the minis do that, but I'm doing it anyway.
That's too tall.
And I shoot straight down at its head.
So, make an attack roll.
Okay. 23. Yeah.
23 hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yeah. 22.
22.
Yeah, 22.
Hits. Roll your damage.
Hitting for 8 plus 3 plus my 3 radiant is 14. Wait. Yeah, 14.
On a crossbow?
I get an extra radiant damage.
How much radiant damage? A d6?
3.
What do you? Sorry?
I have D8. I have T8, which I rolled an 8 on.
Okay.
Plus
For the crossbow? What kind of crossbow is it?
3. Yeah. Light.
My crossbow does a d8. Oh, a hand.
You're still getting heroism, right?
Wait, you're using your digital character sheet, aren't you?
Yeah.
Never mind. Why am I arguing this? Anyway, moving along. So a d8 plus your thing. Alright, so you did fucking 15 off of this thing, eh? Alright, sweet. 14?
Yeah, that's 3 for my radiance. D8, 8 plus 3 plus 3.
It's crazy. Alright, so 14 brings you to fucking 74.
Did we lose an action?
No? Shouldn't have.
Oh, I just had it like lag out on me.
Oh, okay. That's why you paused there. Point A. As you smash down into his cranium from up above, you're flying above, as it were.
Yeah, fly up above him, do like a backflip type thing, shooting straight down.
As you swan flip up into the air, the bolt wetly slaps down into the beast. The thing roars out in anger, looking up towards you as a fountain of ichor geysers out from his head. It gives a momentary roll of its eyes before it suddenly falls over on the ground. As it lolls and splashes, the camera panning around the scene. You're jostled inside, Vince, but the insides stop coiling and rolling. In fact, they tighten right the fuck up. And you take a d6 of damage from the bludgeon. For 1 point. 1 point of bludgeoning.
Get him the fuck out of there.
I'm gonna assume you're not. Are you still flying? You're flying on your wings, eh? Okay, yeah, you are.
I'm not in a great hurry to descend until I make damn sure this thing's dead. unless I feel like my companion is dying.
Your companion is very much dying. Also, you have a companion who may be dying or dead inside the thing that's now dead.
I'm
So-
assuming we still have the temp HP from the heroism.
I mean, unless
So, time-wise, yes.
those are the first to go, eh? You should have subtracted those first.
Yes.
He gets them back every round.
What?
Heroism gives him 5 THP every
Oh.
round.
Yeah, well, the power's in effect, you mean.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So I think him being conscious is a requisite of that, but I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah, you do have to be conscious to get that. You're not unconscious, though, are you?
No, you did not tell me I was unconscious.
Anyway. As it were, though, the thing splashes down into the ground, into the water on the ground. As it does so, its body suddenly goes flaccid in the darkness as it lets out a single
Never.
long groaning burp that rumbles around the place. So what's going on, gentlemen?
Let's. I tried cutting my way out.
Throw me an attack roll as you throw a dagger into working.
Okay.
You have like a single lining to get out of, so that's fine. Sorry, what'd you roll?
11.
You stab through the lining of the stomach and it pops apart with no skin behind it to hold it in place. Disgustingly, it splashes outwards as the whole of it kind of pulls away like a condom filled too big. I guess like a balloon, eh? Like a balloon in slow motion. Have you ever seen that? Like a way it pulls away from the fluid inside, and suddenly it's just this elastic thing that disappears from being around you. As it pulls against your hair, slickly pulling your hood back and clothes and everything just like vacuumed up against its esophagus. You're kind of like, you find yourself half stuck and you're birthing yourself out through the wound in this thing as ichor and guts and blood are just flowing out alongside you. You look like something of this thing's intestines sliding out. The most macabre, disgusting birth that should never have occurred coming out of this frog thing as you slurp your way out wetly into the waters. It's refreshing effects, cleaning you off. Even the peas are a welcome sight to what you just crawled your fucking way out of. The PTSD from this one is real.
Never again.
And you thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Oh, yeah.
Someone had to throw it in. Anyway, as the camera pans against the scene, showing you guys in the darkness here, you can see a bit of blue light, moonlight filtering through the water, through the door, ahead of you. Jarek in the corner quietly makes a death save.
Ooh, I'll go stabilize them.
Alright, terrific stuff. Throw me medicine.
Give me 13.
Good stuff, you actually do. Stabilize Jarek with your medical kit.
I think Jeremy was the one carrying all our health potions.
Basically, yeah.
So the camera pulls around to show a lot of you as such.
That's the stuff lawless, yeah. Hashtag not dead.
The game removes a massive corpse to save Polly's.
Nice.
Paul, what's going on, guys?
Well, there's the.
Oh, we got one person to make sure not dying. So that's step one.
Jared slowly, quietly snores away.
Well, snoring means not dead.
Well, it was stabilized, now he's just healing.
Yeah. Healing. Yeah,
Oh.
we've got a lot of that.
What's going on, I guess?
None of us have healing potions.
Oh, we're looking for healing potions.
Capacity left whatsoever. Yeah, got nothing.
Yeah, okay, I'll give them a healing potion. That's.
Oh. I want to royally waste
10.
my 5 cure mass wounds.
10 health for him.
Nice.
The health potion takes effect.
Yep.
The drop
Yeah,
soaks its way into his skin. And almost immediately its effects take over. His wounds bind themselves up, the accelerated staunching effects. Skin begins to grow anew. Bruises receive their revitalizing beds of herbal essences that cause them to release the toxins.
Did
To
you
melt
say
away.
herbal lesson?
Herbal essences, yes. To melt away the toxins and scabbary and renew the muscle fibers. The whole of them suddenly begins to breathe at a more quickened pace. And his eyes snap open as he looks around in a quick fashion, staring in all directions, seeking where the next attack will come from before he suddenly relaxes, sighing out. His hands at his side don't move, and he says, "I can't feel anything." Oh, there we go. And he starts to wiggle his fingers a moment later. And then his legs. And he shakes his head and gets to his feet. "What happened?" he said. And then he looks over at the massive beast laying in the water and he says, "Oh, well, that's a better outcome than I thought was happening. But I was on my way to see Moradin for sure." Boy. He gives his head another shake and does one of these. "Here's a foot of the plowing waters in this place, silly." He looks over towards you guys. "Well, is there anything else in the water, you figure?"
Can't imagine that thing
Probably
would
not. That thing probably ate them all.
What?
Probably not.
That thing would have left much alive.
And now, Liam?
That thing probably ate everything. So the water's probably fine.
And, Vince?
I agree. Should be safe to go through. Exit.
Let's go for a swim. I start coiling up my rope and begin to get in the water.
Okay. And Neville?
Rope, oil it up, put in my pack, and fly across. Because I still have probably half a minute on that front.
Sounds fine. Jarek does the same.
I prefer not to get.
The camera pans against the scene of you guys as you each make an athletics check to swim out.
Flying.
You're swimming.
I have wings for another 30 seconds or so, right?
And then, so, what, I don't know, I'm not following what you want to do, though. I'm not arguing that you have wings. I don't know what you're after, though. But the place is underground, eh?
In the water?
I'm sorry?
Do we have to go under the water, like, because the cave descends into it?
Yeah, literally. The entryway is completely submerged. If you remember,
Okay.
it was dipping down.
Again, wasn't in that session.
Oh yeah, fair enough. So there's water here, and that's the exit there.
Okay, so I guess I'm swimming.
Terrific stuff.
Despite my best efforts.
So athletics checks all around. Liam, what's
Yeah.
Kusao got? You know what? It's 13 or better to get out of here successfully.
You did that. You got a 14.
Terrific stuff.
Yeah. 15.
13.
Right on, dead on, eh? So everybody gets out, and Jarek is gonna make his. He's gonna be the one that fails it, isn't he? 13 dead on. Never mind. Okay, terrific. Plus bonus of 0. No, he's got a +3 actually. It's strength. He swims his way out just as the rest of you. The camera pans against the temple's entryway as we watch the 4 fingers slowly pull themselves out from the water. The rain doesn't seem to subside, and you can see trickles of water pouring away from the filled basin at the temple's entrance. As the clouds continue to roll past overhead, their gray forms unrelenting in their delivery of the rain that pounds down in the scene all around you. Jarek begins to say something as thunder claps, lightning flashing overhead, and you watch as a bolt slashes down into the trees in the distance, sparks flying visibly from where you're situated. And Jarek simply stops and looks over and then looks back at you guys again and says, "We must be making our way home."
Let's go.
Let's go.
Alright, gotta move on. Are we still trying to meet that one Griffin guy, or did we miss that?
He looks around for a moment as you say this, and he says, "I'm not sure what the rain will be like when we reach our destination, but I'll assume he'll be there for us. First opportunity he has." He looks,
Alright, well,
as he looks towards you, the rain's already soaked through his beard, and feeling against your, you can already feel the water seeping through your armor and clothes.
guess we're walking, boys.
Time passes as the camera pans against your silhouettes in the night. Rain pounding down. The storm continues on for what seems a good hour and some as you walk along, making your way towards the roadway in the distance. If I recall, it was a 4-hour trek to here before, yes?
Yeah.
I don't think that's right, no. It's about an hour away, if I remember. I'm gonna leave it an hour though. For an hour and a bit, you trek through the rain as it pounds down, covering the distance back towards the roadway where the Griffin found, the Griffin rider landed originally, outside the rough terrain and forests. There in the clearing that is the main drag, heading in all directions. You look in either direction yourselves to find nothing. No transport, no Griffin. Nothing but storm for as far as the eye can see. And Jarek looks at you, and you each look at each other, and the camera pulls away slowly, with the gray clouds in the distance, and it fades to black. And that's the session, boys.
Nice one.
Right on.
I guess we'll have to be night out.
Yep. Yeah, hashtag not dead.
Yeah.
Being not dead is good.
Yeah.
And
Alive is nice.
for the three of us at least. Hashtag level 4.
Everybody takes 600 experience for this.
Dang.
As
Assuming you
usual.
get a rest.
That was actually something I wanted to ask real quick. Do you guys have camping gear? You guys have camping
Yes.
gear, right? Alright, so are you guys making camp?
Sure. Make camp in the rain.
As best you can.
Yeah.
The credits are rolling. It shows you guys find yourselves a bunch of trees and combine your tents to keep the waters off as best you can. The credits keep rolling on as it shows you guys eventually nestled down with the fire, and Jarek huddled in with a blanket around him and a hot mug of something. It shows you guys pouring a bit of mead. And it shows Jarek's bag sitting open next to the fire there. And Curtis, which language you hate was your favorite part? Which like least?
But, obviously, technology getting into the session was a bit of a time thing, but I think it still worked fairly well. I found that getting a visual impression of where we are relative to each other in the map was a little trickier. It's pretty much inevitable, barring digital tooling. So yeah, just it was a good session narratively. We got one combat in, bit of exploration, but a little tough to tell what's going on the combat side.
Fair enough. And from there, Judah, which you like? Which you hate? Was your favorite? Was it the least?
I agree with pretty much all of that. The tech side, struggled and succeeded. It's great. And I have a few things I need to address on my end. Try to work out and during the actual session, enjoyed how we maneuvered around, getting out and all that fighting stuff.
Fair enough. And Liam, which you like? Which you hate? Was your favorite? The least?
Yeah, the doing it like online is definitely new, but it was also a good experience. Good to be able to still play D&D with everything. It was also hard to use. It's definitely like a lot better when you have like the whole board in front of you and like you're there as a group. Yeah. But it was fun to use technology, but not fun to not be there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the pacing. I'm glad to get the tech figured out such that it works actually really well from what I can tell. I can appreciate how it's a little difficult to. It takes some getting used to interacting with the map when you're not there to interact with the map. I had wrestled with the idea of setting it up and like the adventure is more or less set up in Roll20. I had wrestled with that. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do there. Ultimately, I like doing it this way. It's what I know. It's what I'm used to, and it's very quick to build sets and to show different aspects and everything. I couldn't imagine being so dynamic in Roll20 with how long it takes me to design the sets that I've done so far. So
Yeah.
That said, yeah, I mean, like I say, I like the adventure so far. I like having finished up the Bellendorn Library, and I like the finish. Other than that, yeah, nothing more to say for myself. Fair enough, John. Fun session.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Fun session.
Yeah.
Cool. If you'd like to see, we stream every Tuesday from 7 to 10 o'clock. Until next time, with my palette of players right here. It's been my pleasure to be your Dungeon Master, entertainer, and until next time, may your 20s always land on 20. Have a good night, everybody. Until next time.
See you next week.
Yeah, good.
Cheers.